Dinky-Doo, me hearties, a very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McCLUE, and we're live on the big one, Saturday night, 9 o'clock. Nothing gets past me, of course, and lovely to have all of you with us tonight. Dinky-Doo, tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 that we are live. Hiya, says Rave Walker. Manus has just joined us. Dinky-Doo, Manus, lovely to have you with us. And Scottish Rave Walker, thank you for liking the live. That is absolutely fabulous. Now, lots and lots to talk about tonight and so little time to do it in. Thank you very much for coming and joining us. I tell you, a very, very good evening to all our wonderful people who are watching on the TikTok and the YouTube. I've got the best content in Scotland. Oh, aren't you wonderful? Hello, Scottie. I'm brand new, says London Irishman. Lovely to have you with us, London Irishman. And Kelly's Magic Art has just joined us. This is great, guys. It's been a busy, busy, busy week on the old Facebook, I tell you. Good evening, Scottie. Tickety-boo, tickety-boo to you, I tell you. All right, Scottie. Yes, hi from Dumbarton, says Gavin. Gavin, we love Dumbarton. What a fine part of the world. We need to get Scotland moving again. I've resisted going into politics, but I tell you, Dinky-Doo, Lara, thank you very much for joining us. And Livy's joined us as well. Dinger has joined us and all that. That is absolutely fantastic. So there we go. How are you, says Mecca? I'm remarkable, Mecca. Guys, tell us exactly where you're watching from and tell us seriously where you're watching from so that we can get down to business here tonight. Evening, Scottie. How's your day been? My day has been outstanding. It's been such a beautiful day. Mind you, every day is a beautiful day. It has to be. There's Jaden Tams in Preston Pans in the Pans. Where would you suggest, Scottie, I should go on holiday in Scotland? West Coast, you could go to Oban, and East Coast, you could go to North Berwick. Would that be nice? I tell you. Good evening from scintillating Stirlingshire, Murray O'Donnell. How lovely to have you with us. And a massive, massive Dinky-Doo to you, Murray. Thank you very much. Enjoying the show, Scottie, says Professor Numpty Heed. Well, there we are, Numpty Heed. Good evening, Scottie. I tell you, Susan, good evening. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you all for coming and joining us. Get subscribing on the YouTube and following on the old TikTok, guys. You're looking lovely as always, big man. Oh, you're very kind. One of my family members used to listen to you on the radio. I like to holiday in the British Isles to put money back in the economy. Yes, but we need the politicians to be careful spending our money. I hope your day is doing great. There's Dino there has joined us. Thank you, Susan. Good evening from Bournemouth, says the wonderful Bryn Breed. Neil, how are you keeping? I tell you. What's your number, says Ranter. Ranter, we are on 01416289795. It can't be better, but sensible calls only. Do not waste a golden opportunity. Greetings from Argentina, says Guerrero. I was listening when I was 10 on Scott FM. That's incredible. Did you watch the rugby today? I believe it was fantastic. Was it 50-40, the score? Have I got that? Can I join, Scottie? Yes, you're joining. You're here. Absolutely. What do you think about the war in Iran and the Middle East? Well, Dino, we tend not to talk about it on here simply because every other media outlet is talking about it. And I think this is all about us, this program. It's not about me. It's about you guys. And I like to hear everybody's chat. Can I get a shout out for my friend Ethan? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Ethan's just joined us and he will have heard his shout out. There we are. So we tend not to go into talking about the war, I tell you. But we do like that Mr. Trump is being so very, very decisive and getting so much done, especially with all the anti-opposition he has to put up with. Spoken to you on many occasions on Scott FM, Real Radio. You're a diamond ranter. Very, very kind of you, I tell you. 1888. What's behind that? It's not the year you were born. I know that. My grandfather was born in 1881. So there we are. I've tried pressing the pause button, but you're still ranting nonsense, Scottie. Numpty Heed, I never ever rant nonsense. Remember, you've got to raise your game to understand what McClue's saying, because we talk big talk on here. Yes, Jerry number one, van driver, Scotland and the West. What's the subject tonight? Jerry, Dinky-Doo. We tend not to want to be too serious, but I did see today that the guy that murdered the two little girls has died. He got attacked in prison and he died. And I was thinking, should we actually have the death penalty back for things like treason, murder, that sort of thing? It's a thought. We talked about bringing back the birch last week, and people were up for that. But one guy said, "Oh, it's a bit, a bit barbaric." And I thought, well, so is murder. Yes, the death penalty, says Jerry. Absolutely, Jerry. I think so. You know, Richard has just sent me 16 red roses. Richard J.D. Tanner, absolute top man, terribly, terribly generous to Scottie McClue, as so many of you are. And thank you for sending me all these gifts. So there we go. I tell you, there's Lewis and Michelle have joined us. Wow. Yes, Huntley's dead, says Angela. Absolutely. Are you a church goer, Scottie? I went to church all my life for the first 60 years of my life. I have lapsed a little bit of actually going to the church, but I very often join services. And somebody was asking me recently, would I consider being a minister or a priest? I tell you, there's Lewis giving me beautiful TikToks. Thank you, Lewis. I tell you. There's Susan and Jerry getting a good old chat. That's what it's all about. Numpty Heed, I hope you'll come on and justify your comments later. We'll be expecting that. Can everybody share this? Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. And guys, I'm also on Cameo now as well. If anybody wants just a short video, or they want somebody roasted, or they want birthday greetings or something. So we've set it all up there, and you'll get it. I think it's even priced under 20 quid. So, you know, any less, then you'd ask, is anybody serious about doing it? I tell you, but I think it would be fun. I got recommended to go on it. Somebody said, Scottie, go on Cameo so we can have some fun. So I did it the other day. So you'll see that on the TikTok and the YouTube. You'll see all the links and the videos and what have you, and we could do you a wee funny video. Old Firm tomorrow, Scottie. Jerry, was the Old Firm not, was it no last week? Are they back on again? I tell you, there's too much football. I think we should have one game of football a week, one, and you can either watch it in the telly or go to the match. And that should be it. That's what it used to be. Cup game, 1 p.m. Ah, right. Okay, Jerry. We're watching that. We've got the rugby as well. Is there too much sport on the telly? There's one for you. I couldn't watch my favorite soap opera last night. Couldn't watch it because somebody somewhere in a television company thinks football's more important than a soap opera. Come on now, guys. What are we playing at? Let's all raise our game. I tell you, I used to sing in the choir, London Irishman. I sang in choirs when I was 7 and had a wee high voice, a wee treble voice. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Debating whether I should get a fish supper or a floaty cameo, says Darius. Well, Darius, I don't mind. I would get a fish supper tonight and save up for your cameo because, as I say, They're under 20 quid. It was in American dollars, and I think it's about £16 or £18. It works out at. Anyway, it was something like $20. I think that was $25, and it came up nice and cheap. But there's also a wee fundraiser if you're wanting to help with the programs for development. You can pop something in. I mean, I'm known to 2 billion people worldwide. 2 billion people worldwide. Now, don't get too excited because it means 6 billion have never heard of me. But I thought even if the 2 billion people, if everybody sent a quid, right? You know, a quid's not too bad nowadays. And the wonderful Murray O'Donnell has spoiled me for years with huge, huge amounts of presents and gifts. And we thank you for that, Murray. So there you are. You need to save up now, Murray. We need to have you saving up, I tell you. So there we go. Tell everybody, get subscribing, guys. We've got 52,000 subscribers on the YouTube. That should be 100,000. And a great fish tea, says Gerard, in Glasgow, Glasgow Cross. Well, I won't advertise, Gerard, but absolutely #1 chippy, Glasgow Cross. There we are, begins with a V. Sounds absolutely fantastic. So there you go. Dinky-Doo. I remember a chap saying to me, he said, I went for an Italian the other night. It was annoying me. I tell you, Gerard, Dinky-Doo, I hope all is well with you and love to you and your beautiful family. That's what it's all about. Big news, I'm retiring, Scottie, says Murray. Well, Murray, I'll need to start looking after you then. So there we go. You deserve it. You should be putting your feet up. Although you're a lot younger than me, but you should be putting up your feet. A lovely neighbour picked me up one morning. It was bucketing wet, and I was going for the 7 o'clock train. And she said to me, what is it today? Why are you around so early? I said, oh, I'm going to my work. And she said, oh, my goodness, you're still earning your corn. And I thought, well, you have to. You have to. Hello, can we have a shout out at Hollycombe Miniature Railway? Says a train spotting picture. Of course you can. Hollycombe Miniature Railway, it'll be gorgeous. Have you got steam engines and you sit on? So there we are. Eton Estate Railway. How amazing is that? I love it. There used to be one in St Andrews, if I remember right. And I think there was one in Paisley at the Bar Shaw. I think they had steam trains or model trains. You get these wonderful gifted engineers. There we go. Oh, the phones. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hiya, Scotty. How you doing? It's Glenn.
Glenla, how are you? Great show tonight.
I like the introduction, by the way, Scott.
What was that one?
The new introduction, we tried to connect you to the call kind of thing. Is that a new setup then?
Oh, well, everything. I mean, the calls I've got, the phone company I've got now are absolutely spot on. Because you know...
professional before, Scott, but it's
proper stuff. Well, you know, there's Sam saying, how old are you? Well, I'm a time traveler, Sam. I might be a million. No, I'm coming up 70 this year. So there we go. Enjoy.
Last time we had a chat, Scotty, regarding the rugby. It's kind of turned on it. Well done on your victory against our counterparts, France.
What did you think of the result today? 40-50.
You beat us as well the second week, didn't you?
Scotland are doing very, very well. They really are. They're quite fantastic. They're back on form, big style.
I mean, we lost to Italy today, Scotty, again.
See, what you had there was a wonderful, wonderful commentator. I don't know if you ever heard him, Glenn, called Bill McLaren. Right?
I've heard of him vaguely, yeah.
Bill McLaren, well, Bill was just an absolute legend. And he used to commentate, hello, good afternoon, welcome to Murrayfield. And he knew all the players, and a lot of them were farmers from the borders, and they were You know, they were big, big, powerful guys, and they spent their week doing heavy work. And that, of course, added to their fitness. And Bill was in the radio station one day, and I said to somebody, "Is that Bill?" And they went, "Yes." I went and talked to him. You'll love him. And I said, "Well, I'm so hungry. I'm just going to get a roll, and then I'll pop back." And when I came back, he'd gone. I was heartbroken.
I mean, if you win next Saturday and we beat France, you win it, don't you?
Well, we're on our way, aren't we? I mean, that's it. The game's up.
If you beat, is it Ireland? Have you got a last game? Is it Ireland or Wales or Italy?
Oh, I don't know what's next week. I'll tell you. Susan says, the wonderful Susan Forrest says, enjoy a long and happy retirement to Murray. Murray says he's retiring.
If we, like I said, if we beat France and you win your last game anyway, you end up winning it.
Well, that's it, isn't it? You know. What do you think about the football? Do you think Scotland will clean up?
I think you'll take a good following to America, will you?
Yeah. Oh, yes. But I think we need to stop singing "Flower of Scotland." I mean, it's a great wee folk song, but it's not our national anthem. Our national anthem's "God Save the King," and you know, we don't want to embarrass ourselves, you know, in front of the world.
Do you think taking a contingent over there, though, it can only be a good thing to put Scotland on map, can't it?
Oh, it'll put Scotland in that. But you see, Scotland, Glenn, and I'm not just blowing trumpets here. Scotland used to run the world.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, America is all modern America from 1776, you know, is Scotland. Well, from the 1600s is really Scotland.
Do you think us English have got a bit of snobbish at times, Scotty?
No, what you've got when you say snobbish, I know what you're talking about. You've got a class system. And people used to say, are you upper class? Are you aristocracy? Are you middle class? Are you lower middle class? Are you working class? Now, you see, I don't believe in any of that. There's somebody asking, is that my picture behind me? Yes, it is indeed. You know, I don't believe in any of that. And the Scots don't buy into a class system.
Right.
You know?
So you don't think there is a rivalry then, or do you think there is a
rivalry between Scotland and England?
Yeah, a big rivalry still, or not?
I think there is, but I think that a lot of it's born out of ignorance. Because as you know, 100%. I've done a lot of work in England, and the people are just beautiful. Beautiful.
Exactly.
You know, so it's not to do with the people. Scotland resents being run by Westminster. You see, we are paying, I think last year it was £98 billion Scotland gave to Westminster. Now, Westminster gave us back some just as pocket money, maybe a third.
Yeah.
And then the rest, they were just squandering, you know, or sending it abroad. And people are starving in this country. And you think, no. Charity begins at home.
I mean, there's got to be something done to make it better on this kind of thing, really.
Yeah.
If why don't people just communicate on a more empathetic level?
Well, that's what it should be. Everybody should be communicating. This is why I've said for years, if a government wants to raise its game, get the SCOTTIE McCLUE phone in on at night, then they can hear what the people are thinking. There's somebody asking me. Who is it that's asking me?
It's a dog world, Scotty, and that's the problem.
Gordon's saying, are you an SNP supporter? Gordon, I'm apolitical. I don't support political parties, but economically, Scotland should be independent because it's supposed to be in a union of equals, and it's not. There are departments there to cause problems for Scotland, you know.
Do you think England's been run down to ground then, Scotty?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. And all the money given away to make, you know, Mrs. Thatcher look good in Europe.
Yeah. I mean, how long do you reckon it's going to take before we actually see some positives?
I think you'll find that Mr. Trump will bulldoze through the whole thing. You know?
You reckon?
Yeah, I think he'll bulldoze through the whole thing. because, you know, he's exposing, you know, the fact that the elites are taking all the money for themselves.
From an English perspective, then.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, he sees what's going on, and he's actually saying to, I mean, he's not interfering in the UK, he's just saying to them, you're making a dreadful, dreadful mess of your country. And I think at the first thing that was a bit to do with that, because the first wave wanted us to reduce everything and then go into Europe. But we went into Europe, then we came out of Europe. Things have changed because stuff does change. And
do you think a World War?
Do you think
a World War III? Do you think there's a potential World War III then, Scotty?
No, I don't think so. That wouldn't be the gain. I mean, the great gain for the very, very wealthy is to buy shares in all the companies that make the weapons and to buy them on both sides and sit back and make themselves some money. But to be honest with you, that's all been tried. And when you look back now, it just ends up taking a country close to bankruptcy. And that's what's happened.
Do you think it's just scaremongering there, Scotty, at times?
Oh yeah, well, there's a lot of scaremongering. I mean, obviously there's genuine, you know, acts of violence going on. But I think there's a lot of scaremongering going on. But at the end of the day, the people are not winning. I mean, how much better has your life got in the last 20 years?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
But personally, we're having children and that.
We're having children. I mean, that's a different thing. I mean, from a point of happiness, but I'm saying purely from a financial point of view, you know, have the government ensured that you're doing a lot better than you were?
And now we've still got to carry on working, aren't we?
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. You've just got to keep going until you drop.
The cost of living crisis is just...
Yeah. But have you noticed there's always a crisis? Now, you look at the way Donald Trump addresses his country, and it's always positive. When did we last hear any of our politicians being positive?
Whoever's in charge.
Yeah.
I mean...
When did anybody pop up on the news and say, okay, folks, here's the deal. You're going to pay a lot less for your fuel, a lot less for your household bills. Your salaries are going to go up. Your pension's going to go up. It's boom time in the UK, guys. When did you last hear that? Maybe never?
Don't happen, Sky, does it?
I tell you.
I don't think, honestly, this country does not belong to people, does it?
Well, it's been taken from the people to make people look good, you know? Everything's been taken away from the people, even from the aristocrats. I mean, a good whack of them were killed in the First World War. And then you look at all the big estates that used to employ everybody. The money was in the country. And the agrarian revolution, then in the late 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, the industrial revolution, and then boom, everything gets clobbered.
Then if people start throwing the toys out at pram, so to speak, next thing you know, they break it low kind of thing, aren't they?
Well, problem is everybody's got a pram full of toys.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is. Glenn, my dear man, I'm going to have to push off, but don't think I don't love you.
Scotland have got Ireland on last game next weekend in Ireland.
That'll be a big one. Do you think they'll be giving it Molly Malone?
I wish you all best. I hope you honestly win it, Scotty, to be fair.
Hey, Dinky-Doo. All the best to you, Glenn.
Take care, big man.
Top man. That's our Glenn. Lovely guy. And always got some great chat. He's into his sports, as you probably gathered, of course. And we like that. So there we go. Now, who have I got here? Can you say, my friend who's 67, he wants you to say he's also watching, says Train Spotting Picture. Sean Kenny, hello, Scottie Dinky-Doo. I hope you're well. What a cracking day today. The view from Upper Greenock to Helensburgh was fantastic. Where did Dinky-Doo come from? I made it up, but we said it was the Emperor Zero. We said it was the Emperor Zero, guys. Guys, get sharing the videos, please. Very, very important. How, Scotty, do you think we're in the end time now? I don't, well, I think we're in what biblically would be known as the last days. But I think that, the new world will be born out of it. So there you are. Tups Rahir says, good evening all. Apologies for my appalling lateness. You're very tardy, Tups, but we tend not to give you a row. You're looking lovely as usual, Scotty, says Ranter. Ranter, you're very kind. We tend not to give you a row, Tups, because we don't know your story. What do you think of countries that are not Scotland? Well, hopefully they've got Scottish influence in them. Remember, we spoke about it in your radio show 25 years ago. We did Elijah. I tell you, what a lovely, lovely name, Elijah. Hi, Tups Rahir, says Susan. So there we go. So we might be in what they call the last days, but hopefully we're about to have a Renaissance. I'd love to see a Scottish Renaissance. Scotty, what's your best memory from your youth? Says Gordon. Gordon, my best memory would be the Clyde steamers. The Clyde steamers. Scotty boy says, Izzy Dinky-Doo. I could probably name the lot of them for you. So there you are, a good whack of them. The Duchess of Hamilton, the Duchess of Montrose, the Waverley, the Jeannie Deans, the Maid of Argyll, the Maid of Skelmerley, the Maid of Ashton, and what was the other one? The Maid of Skelmerley, the Maid of Ashton, the Maid of Argyll, and there's one more. There's one more I need to get. It'll come back to me. Scotty, where are you from? I'm from Greenock, Strong Peptides. Dave from Calder Crooks, near one of your old haunts, Lime Rig. Dave, I remember Lime Rig very well. Such a nice eye colour. You're very kind to me, I tell you. Carbolic 77's just joined us. Gordon Johnson, you've got the #1 viewer badge. That is just amazing. I tell you. Now, what have I got here? Hold on, guys. We're just trying to see what is what. Oh, we are. Lovely. Now, evening all says Disc. What are you doing during the rapture, Scotty? Scotty, from last week's show, I found the Upper Greenock Railway entrance at the top of Linder Street. It's now bricked up, but the entrance still stands out. Yes, it will do. Who have we got here? Terrace Road came up round it, I tell you. And then you would turn up. Is it Terrace Road? What's it? No, Dellingburn Street. Then you turn up at the fire station. The fire station was built on the site of St. Lawrence's Church. It was a beautiful church. And it went on fire during the Second World War, during the Blitz. And I thought it was bombed, but apparently not. The distillery was bombed, and a barrel of whiskey on fire rolled down the hill and into the church and set fire to the church. What's the wee shield on the wall? That's my old school. Hinc vira virtus, the Latin motto, from these gates comes true virtue. I have to agree. There we are. If you know, you know. I reckon it'll take more than a couple of angels to fly Scotty up to heaven. Maybe a Hercules transporter. Well, Tups Rahir, Her late Majesty the Queen, she made her final journey from Scotland down to the home counties on a Hercules transporter. So if it's good enough for Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, then it's good enough for Scottie McClue. I tell you, is the Rotunda bar still there? I will check disc and see what is what. It had a funnel-like thing. Wonderful. There we are. I don't know if I was ever in that one. There was another bar down there. That was Kilblain Street, wasn't it? And you had the Horseshoe. I remember the Horseshoe. I bet it was the first time the Queen had ever had to turn right upon entering an aeroplane. Turn right upon entering the aeroplane. So there we go. Turn right upon entering the aeroplane. I'm just trying to think, do you mean the way they would take her on the bearer party? I tell you. First class, there we are, is to the left. Oh, I see, Tups. You're way, way, way ahead of me. I don't fly that often. I pop on a wonderful budget airline. I won't advertise, but a lot of their material is orange. There we are, Dinky-Doo, Scottie, and I've been so chuffed with the service over the years. I can tell you that. Who else have we got here? Gosh, we're doing well on here tonight, guys. There's the wonderful Murray O'Donnell, Dinky-Doo. Everybody wishes Murray a very happy retirement. Rumaisa has just joined us. This is wonderful, guys. Absolutely wonderful. And Numpty Heed, make sure you come on in time tonight. Gordon says, do you know Ian McCrory, who was a teacher in the academy, wrote a book about the Waverley? Ian McCrory was the most ubiquitous and urbane man I think I've ever met. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man. He taught chemistry, and I think became the principal teacher of chemistry. Ian was the head boy at Greenock Academy. And then he went to Glasgow University, did his BSc honours, and came back and taught at Greenock Academy, I think, all his life. Wonderful man, and ended up as the deputy head. He would have been a wonderful head as well. Anything Ian turned his hand to was successful. He was the most outstanding musician and chorister. He won the National Choirs competition when he was about 24, I think, with his own choir, the Toad Choir, who became part of the Scottish Philharmonic Singers, if I remember rightly, and turned up every Sunday afternoon to rehearse. Outstanding choir. He's an outstanding choir master and pianist, and he could probably have had the baton of any orchestra. You know, fantastic. I got to conduct the Halley Orchestra in front of 20,000 people in Manchester Arena, and I conducted Thomas Arne's Sea Songs, and I phoned Ian just to ask him if he thought I should do it, because it's a big task, you know. And he said, "Oh, I would just do it, to be honest with you." So that was the stuff. Absolutely amazing. Cracking view from the cross on the Lisle Hill. Absolutely disc. And the cross, of course, was the Free French Memorial. One of the ships blew up in the harbour, and a lot of the Free French sailors lost their lives, and they set up that beautiful Cross of Lorraine. What, the taxi drivers? You never liked them, Scottie, says Jambo. I love the taxi drivers. I just had to point out that at that moment in time, they did very well financially. Am I right or am I right? I ask you. The taxi drivers, did they do well financially? That's what it's all about. Now then, what have we got here? Hang on. I tell you. There we are. We'll put that down. Now, if you're on the YouTube channel, can you subscribe and also click like? That's the thing. You'll see a little thumbs up. If all of you can click the thumbs up and let me know that you're on, and get sharing this, guys. I think this is very, very important. What's your best memory in your life, says the Scottish man. My best memory is the Clyde steamers. I was so well known on them. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say about Ian McClure. He was also a huge authority, probably the world's top authority on the Clyde steamers. There is one other man who knows his stuff, but Ian wrote several books. He also wrote a book on Clyde piers, and he wrote a book on with the chap that wrote the history of the Caledonian Steam Packet Company, a lovely chap called Ian MacArthur. I was coming down the mountain when I accidentally dropped the new clay tablets. Sorry. Did they break, Numpty Heed? Did you break a commandment? I think we should all be told. Left of first class, right is economy. Ah, I see. Absolutely. I'll be quite honest with you. Queen Elizabeth was such an outstanding lady that obviously by the time she'd passed away, she would be, others would be looking after her, but she was such an outstanding lady. I don't think she'd really have been too bothered. She was a mechanic. She used to drive her own four-wheel drive vehicles. Scotty, did you watch the rugby today, fellow? Outstanding Finn. Yeah, 50-40 or 40-50. Do you put the loser first? When will you be back on Scott FM? I know the world would love that. Scott FM's sadly no longer. When something's highly successful, somebody always wants to change it. They think they know better. So there were. I've just subbed now, says Disc. Thanks, Disc. Very much appreciated. And have you done me a wee thumbs up, a wee like as well? Because we need to grow this channel. I'm so maxed these days, I don't get the time to grow my channels. Are your thoughts still the same, Scotty, on the single mothers? Keep your horn in your halfpenny. Well, ranter, it makes complete sense to keep your horn in your halfpenny. Sure did, sir. Thanks very, very much for that, this top man. So there we are. I mean, it's just very... Scottie McClue is really just all about common sense. Scotty, you didn't answer any of my questions I asked you. Yes, I did. I did, Scottish man. Scotty, the taxi drivers. Yes, Jambo. I was on TikTok, but I moved on here. What's your favorite pot noodle? Do you know I don't do the pot noodles? Is that a terrible admission? I do the cups of soup, and I like the ones with the croutons. See what I just did there? The croutons. Excuse me. Mop down time. Woo. It's absolutely roasting. Roasting in here. I tell you. You just said doo-doo. No, I said dinky-doo. That's what I said, Adon. I said Dinky-Doo, which is, as the whole world knows, Scottie McClue's call sign, Dinky-Doo. There we are. What question did I not answer? Are you talking about the second? No, Boundless. No, I'm not. Party in Dunfermline tonight. Hello from Moffat. Guys, is this not beautiful? Scottie McClue is live right now. And hello from Dunfermline, and the next one says hello from Moffat. You know, now there must be 80 miles between Dunfermline and Moffat. I just think that's incredible. Dinky-Doo, fair dinkum. Fair dinkum, Daddy. I tell you. Love Moffat. Visit the Tibby Shields Inn and St. Mary's. Yeah, and also Moffat Toffee. Gordon says he did teach all his life. He was an amazing singer. He was a teacher when I was there. Gordon, absolutely outstanding man and a great personal friend of mine as well. I remember I was applying for a job at the BBC, and a lot of my referees had passed on, and I said to Ian, would you mind? He went, no, they've only to ask, not a problem. He'd known me all my life. So there we are. Who's just called? It's a fair few miles from Devon. Oh, we love Devon. You know, you used to get a tremendous thing called motor rail, and you could drive to Stirling and go on to the motor rail. I've done it. And the train would travel all night, and you drove your car off at Newton Abbot in Devon, glorious Devon. I tell you, what about that? That's the way to do it, isn't it? So you just drove up, I think, if you were there for about 7 o'clock in the evening, and they took your car on the motor rail, and then you got a sleeper, and you were off at Newton Abbot in the morning. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Hello? Somebody just, I think they're maybe trying the number to see if it actually works and then panicking when I answer. There we are. Newton Abbot, not far, 20 minutes away. Well, there you go. And then we went over to Cornwall, to Helston. Wonderful. And stayed at a lovely farm near Sithney. Who do you support? Anybody who's in need. You know, I would say. Here we go again. Somebody trying it. You're live on Scottish phone in. Who's that?
Hello, it's Lewis.
Lewis, how lovely to hear you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Scotty. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm not bad at all for my age, Lewis, I have to say.
Yeah, you're getting on now, aren't you?
Oh, we're knocking on now, I tell you. What can I do for you, sir? Lovely to hear you.
I just want to know, what's your... Sorry about that. I was just a bit of wind trap there. What's your opinion on the... Sorry, I don't know.
He's a hoot. Coming on, blowing his nose. Bring the Stuarts back to the Scottish throne. Well, King Charles has got Stuart blood in him. Stuart bloodlines, I should say. And now, not many people will know this, but America is giving the impression, obviously, they're Republicans, but they were very, very keen after 1776, after the War of Independence, to have a king. And they wanted Charles Edward Stuart, Bonnie Prince Charlie, to be their king. I don't know if Mr. Trump knows the story. I'll tell him if I get to meet him. There we are. But the Stuarts, if the Stuarts did come back, and I think there is still a Stuart line. You know, Queen Anne was the last. She died in 1714. But I think you could probably trace, you know, cousins and things like that. The Jacobites. Well, the Jacobites, you see, people think that they wanted a Catholic king. The Jacobites were Episcopalian as well. You know, if you look at the history of the episcopacy in Scotland, very, very interesting. I tell you, they put the bishops in jail. Oh, so it's well worth a look, guys, and they're very pivotal to Scottish society, the Episcopal Church. There's a great big one on Great Western Road, St. Mary's Cathedral. Yes, part of it. And I'll tell you who got married there. Field Marshal Montgomery's son, David, was married at St. Mary's Cathedral on Great Western Road. The French Jacobites, 1789. Yes, absolutely. We're obviously 1746. And I think 1789, Bonnie Prince Charlie had just died. I think he died in 1786. Is that right? Could you please give the Argyll Arms Hotel in Southend, Argyll, a shout out? Sean, I would feel privileged and honoured to give the Argyll Arms Hotel in Southend, Argyll, a shout out, because I knew Angus McVicker very well, and he was a well-known resident of Southend. And we love Southend. And of course, Southend, if you look over the wall just along from the cemetery, you'll see what's known as a porte cochere. In other words, the old porch of Keele House. And that's where McKinnon started Keele School. Then it went on fire, I think it was 1915, and they moved the school to Dumbarton and moved it into Helen's Lee House, which I think is still standing. I'm not sure if it's ruined now. And that belonged to a Helen Denny of Denny's, the shipbuilders, Denny Brothers, along just opposite Sand Point. So that was Denny's yard, just at the entrance of the Leven. And they built so many of the Clyde steamers, so many of the Isle of Man steamers, so many of the British Rail steamers, Denny's, Dumbarton, wonderful paddle steamers, the lot. What do you think of reform, Bud? Well, Lee, the problem I've got with reform is I don't think they've mentioned in their manifesto if they are pro-Scottish independence. And the next big move for Scotland should be as an independent country economically. There we are. I mean, I'm not political, I'm apolitical, but that should be the next move for Scotland, because Westminster have treated Scotland appallingly and robbed it blind. So there you have it, I tell you. Who have we got here on Scottie McClue's phone in? You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, it's Lewis again. I apologize. The line was really bad.
Oh, Lewis, no bother. And you were also needing to blow your nose.
Yeah. I was something like, it was cool coming out.
You had me blowing mine, it must be contagious.
Yeah, good to see you through the lines, yeah. No, I just wanted to talk to you about resources and stuff. What do you think? Like Rupert Lowe, do you think he'll be a good prime minister for the UK?
About reform?
No, restore. Rupert Lowe's party.
Oh yes, absolutely. Well, he's an excellent. These are all excellent politicians, and it amazes me why we don't hear a lot more of them.
I know, it's silly, isn't it? Like Rupert Lowe, literally MP in Parliament, really a lot of people. I mean, I listen to a lot of his podcasts and stuff, and yeah, he does sound pretty good.
Yeah, an absolute top man. Absolute top man.
Yeah.
Lewis, lovely to hear you, and thank you for coming and joining us. Wonderful stuff, I tell you. I'm just looking at the time here, guys. I'm apolitical, says the man who keeps opening his mouth about politics. Yeah, but Aaron, I think you're failing to understand. For instance, say I was discussing communism with you. Would that make me a communist? If I was discussing Roman Catholicism, would that make me a Roman Catholic? If I was discussing conservatism, would that make me a conservative? If I was discussing Marxism, would that make me a Marxist? Do you see? So this is what you've got to look at. We should be free, and this is the power of a program like this. We should be free to discuss these things without you looking about how could you label somebody. We must be able to get a handle on this McClue guy, right? I mean, I remember hearing from a very senior media person, somebody had said to them, why do you not have Scottie McClue on your channel? The guy's amazing and he knows his stuff. And they went, you see, we don't know his politics. Now, that's an appalling way to actually think, because how powerful for that station would it be to have a presenter who was apolitical and could put them all on the anvil? I tell you. So there were. Bob's just joined us. Lovely to have you with us, Bob. I'm labeling you, Scottie, the Mad Hat guy. Oh, that's fine. The Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. You said you were apolitical, not me. Yeah, I'm apolitical. That's what I'm telling you. Apolitical describes people, organizations, or actions that are not interested, involved with, or influenced by politics or political parties. Right. Aaron, what kind of person nowadays right, would not be interested in what's going on, especially as a worldwide broadcaster, which I now am. What kind of person would not be interested in the actions of politics or political parties? You need to be a pretty dreadful broadcaster to not be interested in these things, right? So what does an apolitical person think of the AWB in South Africa? Google them. No, I don't. I was around, guys, long before Google, right? I've been studying world international affairs for well over 50 years. So there you go, I tell you. I am says, why is BBC broadcasting, and he uses a slightly derogatory term? Well, you see, the problem is the BBC kept their independence up until the Iraq War. And then I think the politicians got their talons into them and broke any independence. Because at the Iraq War, as you will all well remember, the BBC were trying to tell the truth and the government were getting anxious. How can I call you? You hit a number, Scottie. Yes, 0141. There we are, 628-9795. 0141 628 9795. Glasgow Atlantic, and we will take your call, which makes you not apolitical. No, Aaron, right? Which makes me apolitical. So in other words, I don't support any particular political party. You with me now? Brother, what do you as an apolitical person think of the far right? Well, does the far right actually exist? Right? Does the far left actually exist? So there you have it. I tell you, that's not what apolitical means, my friend. Aaron, my friend, trust me, McClue knows exactly what apolitical means. Otherwise, I wouldn't be using the term. So don't try and see if you can make it suit your agenda. It's very clear. There we are. I tend not to say, let's be quite clear, because usually when a politician says that, they're going to obfuscate. Labels is all there is. No, Bob, not when you're dealing with Scottie McClue. I think they both exist. Well, I don't. I think that the Prime Minister were labeling people far right if they were centre or just right of centre. I think in the early days they were labelled far right. Now, if you've got a far right, then that must mean you're pretty far left, right? And we know in this country that this country will not tolerate far left, no matter how many years they've been doing it. So there you are. Well said, Scottie, says Harry. Harry, thank you for that. You've just got to be upfront with these people because people are desperate to try and get a label on you. And you can't label me politically because I am apolitical. I tell you. There we are. Move to Crete. Says to Declan, you're not the brightest, are you? I've noticed that. I mean, I put up about Scotland all the figures, and I had one or two completely half-witted people on shouting and bawling and trying to label me, say, oh, you Nats, haven't they got the brains to... And I thought, right, well, there's no Nats. There's no haven't they got the brains. We've got 2 degrees, an IQ of 164. We've been on every television and radio company we need to be on, and discussing world international affairs for 40 years. Apolitical is not about labels. No, of course it's not. If you're apolitical, you can't be labeled because you're apolitical. So apolitical, you're not got labels. So you're right there. Interestingly enough, weird move to identity there. Yeah, you see, Aaron, weird move. You're at it. You see, again, weird move. You're trying to see if you can get a handle, and you won't get a handle. Scottie, I'm away to do my overnight shift in Morrison's. Any suggestions? Yes, absolutely. You get in there and enjoy every second of it, Daniel. Talk to interesting people. So there are a lot of people working in supermarkets who are fascinating, absolutely fascinating. When's your next random pop-up, Scottie? Says Professor Numpty Heed. Well, Numpty Heed, I'm shocked that we haven't heard from you tonight. In politics, when us drinkers are on the happy juice. Oh, the politics start. As soon as you get into taxi, there used to be a lovely saying. 164 would qualify you for Mensa. Well, I am Mensa moved to Crete. Yeah, that's how I got my score. That was many years ago. I may have slowed down. Who knows? What's your thoughts on the comet? Are you talking Halley's comet that was seen, or the comet ship, the one that was the replica, Steve, that was built by the apprentices at Lithgow's in 1962 for the 150th anniversary of the original Henry Bell's comet? So there we are. I love it. It was interesting because the provost at the time, Sir Simpson Stevenson in 1962, provost of Greenock, went on the comet across to Helensburgh with his robes on and everything. A wee paddle steamer, and I think she was a wee bit wobbly. DINKY-DOO, Scottie McCLUE, will you be guest of honor at a car show in July in Manchester? Mark, what a lovely, lovely thought. I tell you, I'm pretty sure the Scottish people have the richest history across the English Empire. Well, Kevin, you're calling it the English Empire. The Scots effectively set up and ran the British Empire for Westminster. I didn't agree, but hugely respected Nicola Sturgeon as a politician. Such a shame it ended as it did. Moved to Crete. I had a lovely, lovely holiday in Crete. I tell you, I've got a story I could tell you about that as well. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hi there, it's Robert.
Robert, how lovely to hear you. What can I do for you, sir?
It's just nice to hear you back in the airwaves again.
You're a great man. That's very kind of you.
Not at all, not at all. So I'm not political at all. I'm just up for a wee laugh.
Well, Robert, you've come to the right place because Scottie McClue, we have a wee laugh.
Oh, definite. So what happened? You were on Scott FM, I always remember that.
Scott FM, and then some new people took over. They didn't understand the phone in. They thought, oh, I think we can do better than this chap at night. So they got rid of it. Dafties had to then sell the station, and I immediately doubled my money the next day.
Oh, brilliant.
People don't realize that. They think, oh, he got booted out for saying things. No, I didn't. No.
The best thing on that station.
It was just incredible, and I think we'll try somehow and bring it back for you.
Oh, definitely. That'd be amazing to watch. Listen to you on the radio again. That'd be brilliant.
I tell you, well,
listening to your talk show at night.
Well, watch the space rab because it will happen.
Oh, brilliant.
I've got to go. We're out of time. Love you lots.
Oh, one question.
Yeah.
Do you like a Morton's roll?
Oh, I don't just like a Morton's roll. I love it. DINKY-DOO. See you lot. What a top man. Guys, I've got to go. Love you. Woo. Oh, amazing. We are out of time. Thank you for being such a fantastic audience tonight. What a wonderful, wonderful show. And DINKY-DOO.